Welcome to FlappyBird Lesson 6. In this video, we're going to conclude our game by adding sound, a startup screen, and the play again option. So let's get to it. So I've added some things prior to starting the video, just to save some time. So I've added another resource logo to be used with the startup screen, and I've added our sound. Let's handle the sound first because it's actually the easier part. So we declared the resources. We go to our init function. We create our variable. So you can see here I've added the 3 sound files. Again, new sound, games, .audios. Don't go autopilots, not images. And then the particular ID that you gave that sound file. I've also added the logo in preparation for the startup screen. And I've repositioned it a little bit because I didn't want it smack in the middle of the screen. So let's add some sound to our game. So we got hit, point, and wing. Let's kind of scroll down, and first place we see here is that when we press the space bar, we should hear the wings flap. So we're going to do a little wing.play right here. Let's see what else we got. So the bird collides with the bar, the pipe. That's the game over sequence. But that's also an excellent place to do a hit.play. So when you hit something. And I think the last sound we have goes right in here, which is when we collect the ring. So let's do point.play. So let's try it out and see what we got. So there's the wing flapping. There's the collection of the coin and the hitting. Great. So notice how the game went right into the actual flapping and collecting the coins. There was no startup screen. Rarely do games start like that. There's usually some startup screen that asks you to press this or press that in order to get it to go. So that's the same thing we're going to do here. So let's go ahead and create a function. Let's call it start screen. And let's just anticipate some of the things we need to have in start screen before we actually switch the order of our game around. So I think it would be nice for us to do scroll the background. Let's put the bird on the startup screen as well. I'm not going to go up, but I'm sure we're going to want the logo since we loaded it up as a resource. And let's put the bar in there too. And let's just check that out before we go any further. Oh, in order for us to check it out, totally forgot, we have to change the order of things. So after the init, notice we changed the state of the game to main, which is the actual game. Well, we don't want to do that anymore. We want to do start screen now. And now we get a chance to actually test it out. Okay, looks good. We have to give it some instructions, some ability to kind of start the game. So the other thing I kind of slid in here too, well, it's from the previous lesson, the fact that we have a nice font that we can use. So let's do a little copy and paste. We'll copy this draw text. Let's put it right here so it's over the bar. And let's say that we're going to press space to begin. And let's see, where should we keep it? Let's not do it there. Let's do it at game.width divided by 2. And let's bring it back some. Let's say 200 maybe. And let's position it off the bottom. So we'll say game.height minus 40. We'll use the same font. And I think at this point, let's just kind of finish off the start screen. Which means if we're asking them to press space, we have to check for them pressing the space bar. And you learned that in this particular video. The idea of keys.pressed allows us to check what keys are being pressed. And the key we want to press is the space bar. Okay. And if they do press the space bar, what do we want to do? We want to change the state of the game to actually be main now, which is the main part of the game. So let's try that out. Okay, so words were over a little bit too far. We could adjust it. But let's just see if the spacebar works. And there we go. We go right into the game. Okay. So on the game over screen, it'd be nice to kind of send us back to restart the game. So let me adjust this a little bit. Let's call it 170. And we'll check it out later. So on game over, we kind of want to do something similar to this in that we want to check for a key. But what's the question? So let's say play again. And let's give them the option of a Y or an N. And you know what? That might not be a bad place to put it. So let's change this from a space to a yes, and let's send this back to main. But the one thing to remember when you do a whole play again, you got to reset a bunch of variables. So one of the ones we have to reset is definitely game.score. We want to start with the same score. The other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to probably reposition things. So let's make sure that the bird's back in the middle. So let's say game.width divided by 2. Oops, wrong variable. Bird.y equals game height divided by 2. So now the bird's repositioned in the middle. What else do we have to position? So the cool thing would be to kind of go back to the init function, kind of give yourself an idea. So we can see here we definitely do something with the ring. So let's do that. So let's reposition the ring. And at this point, the ring might have picked up a lot of speed. Let's say we kind of made it far before the game actually ended. So we're going to have to reset the speed too, back to the original value of 2 that we had. And, I think we could actually just try it out now. Let's see what happens. Okay, so the adjustment on the text probably could still go a little bit over. That's okay. So here we are. Let's collect the coin. And let's collect another one. And on this one, let's go ahead and die. Okay. I'd probably move this over a little bit more as well. But let's try the yes. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. We forgot to reset one thing. There's no ring. So let's go back to here. And we have to make the ring visible again. So let's try that out. And let's make some of these adjustments. I think this set had to go back a little bit. And this definitely had to go back a little bit. Let's see if that was enough. Okay, so that definitely looks better. Align, probably go back even a little bit more. Let's go and collect the ring. And let's die. Okay, this looks good. Let's press yes. There's the ring. The score's reset. Everything looks good. So let's go back to our presentation. And this was FlappyBird. And you'll notice that it was done in a lot fewer lessons, mainly because, again, Zombie Thanksgiving was the one that kind of got you familiar with the game library. One of the new things in this game was the idea of creating animation and controlling things through its variables, not just through the move to. So hopefully you enjoyed it.